Brainstorming and sharing ideas is the funnest part of the creative process. We decided to skip the boring part of actually making stuff and just do the fun part. I'm your host, Tom Wolma.
I'm Ryla Gray.
And I'm Lindsay Boersma.
And this is Creativity Wasted. I sweat a lot. If I'm sitting down when I'm sweating, sometimes I get a sweaty butt and it's super uncomfortable. And I worry that it's going to show on my pants. And I don't think it does, but that would be horrifying and gross if it did. And I've tried using like talc powder on my ass, and it's just gross, and I couldn't get it to work. I didn't know how to do it. So there's that. And then I went on vacation a couple weeks ago at a lake, and I learned something that was like a revelation for my butt sweat issue. I had just gone swimming, and so I was in my bathing suit, and then I got out of the water, and I laid on a hammock, and it was a little breezy. And I was in the sun, so it was like super hot in the sun. But my ass with the wet bathing suit was freezing cold because the hammock let the wind hit my wet bathing suit. Mm-hmm. And so my idea is, you know how like in Europe they were having a heat wave and it was like 110 degrees and they don't have air conditioning over there. And there's also worrying about electricity, maybe not in Europe, but in the US, like because so many people are turning on air conditioners that the electricity might go out when it's 110 degrees out. So my idea was like, I call it a cooldown hammock. So it would be like a hammock they make like canopies above you to give you in shade that attaches to the hammock stand. So you're laying in the hammock, you're in the shade. I want to put a solar panel on that shade that'll power like a fan to blow on you to cool you down. And then I thought you could get like a thing of water, like an IV bag sort of thing that you could have as part of the hammock, and the water would like seep through. You'd either put like something that seeps the water onto your back when you're on the hammock. Either like the ropes would have like
little holes in them or something.
Yeah, somehow that the water could seep through slowly. Mm-hmm. Or like a blanket or something that it just gets wet and it sort of seeps down it. Like
the hammock could be made
hoses,
yeah, the soaking hoses. You can make the material, the hammock, out of the soaking hose for that aspect of it, for that portion of how to get the water to the body.
You could make the whole hammock out of the hoses and then just run like the hammock itself the water would just seep through.
Yeah, you just hook it up to a water hose. You don't even need the IV bags. Hook it up to a water hose. It's a soaking hose. It's basically a hose that you lay in your garden. And on this hose, it's made out of a material with like micro, really small holes in it. And it just lets the water kind of build up on the outside and like sweat. It almost sweats.
Yeah.
The hose almost sweats the cold water. And that's what this soaking hose hammock will be doing. It'll be sweating out this cold water from your hose.
Does your hose, you still have water pressure if you don't have electricity, right?
Yeah, you still have water pressure.
Does it depend on if it's city water?
If city water, you'll still have water. It's well water that is the problem.
Oh.
You don't have power.
So maybe you'd make it so you could attach a hose if you're in the city, or you'd have the bag if you're in the country.
You could definitely have it hooked up to like a barrel of water too and use gravity.
Yeah, like a toilet doesn't use electricity to flush. It's all just like pressure and gravity. So you could have like your own kind of like water tank, which is slowly having water come out through it.
Which actually, the reservoir for that could be used as a water catcher for the rain, and you won't even be using your water.
You could legit make this today,
filter out the rainwater.
$100 and a trip to Menards.
I do think it's interesting though that your whole theory is that you don't want to have a sweaty butt.
Sweaty ass.
So your way to fix that is to make a chair that makes you have a permanently wet butt.
Butt, right?
Yeah, I guess
it was a long road to get there. We got there.
I want to tell you about like Gold Bond.
I was watching Lindsay's face. It was great.
Do you know Gold Bond makes the powder in a spray form that you can spray?
I might have to try that.
Yeah, you can try that. And also, like, it's your back that sweats. Like, because I serve and I have to work outside in patios. Like, you can put deodorant places like under your knees or under your gut, under your breast. If you have breast, or like right above like your butt on your back.
Well, I know my back sweats too, but I thought that most of the sweat was coming from my ass. Maybe it's coming from my back and dripping down.
You could put like deodorant right at your waistband and see what happens.
Anyway, back to the hammock thing. I know that some people might see, you want to attach a solar panel to a...
You wouldn't even need to do that. You could get gravity feed.
You would want the solar power if you had a fan on you?
Yeah, the solar power would only be needed for the fan.
Tell you another thing you can use the solar panel for. That when I was off work for about a year and a half, I got attacked by 2 pit bulls at work, and broke my shoulder blade. And what they did was they sent home this jacket. I had to wear this jacket that was attached to this machine, and I had to put 2 cups of frozen ice in it. You know the Solo cups? Put 2 Solo cups of water in the freezer, so basically 2 big giant cups. Put that in the machine and 1 cup of water. And that machine got that water cold, and it ran this water all through this jacket. And it just kept, I don't know what it was for, I guess it's to keep, circulation or something down, or I don't know. But you can use that machine to keep cold water running through this hammock. If it was made of like a plastic tubes, it'd be cold water continuously running through there, and that solar power keep it running if there was a power outage.
So you're saying now, instead of the water dripping out, it would just
dripping out,
in it.
Yeah, and it'll just keep you cool. It'll keep your whole body cool.
Yeah, just a self-cooling hammock.
It was like a half a vest. And I put it on, zipped it up in the front, and I sat there and I turned it on, and it was just, you could just feel this cold water just whooshing through this jacket I had to wear.
Did it make a noise?
Like, that's pretty cool. No, but I could just feel it. I could, it didn't make a whooshing noise, but I could feel it doing this, like, so it was like a cold massage.
If you use some water, you could make it like give you a massage to like the freaking thing at Planet Fitness. Their massage.
Yeah.
It's done with water.
Water,
you hear the whooshing. If you do want the whooshing, can be very relaxing. You can even lay in a hammock while wearing this vest. This vest has already been invented, though.
You have to invent some draws. In the hammock.
So the vest had a battery on it somewhere, or you plug it in?
No, the vest was basically it was almost like a life jacket almost.
But how did the water
life jacket? It was a tube that went down the vest into this machine. And the machine chopped this water up into the vest.
I see. So you had to be sitting next to a machine.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. But I was saying that to say that machine was making that cold water shoot through this hose, which basically, if you thought about it, if you had a hammock that was made of like tubing, you could shoot that cold water through the hammock.
Yeah, and you could power it with a solar panel.
There you go.
You could have it work both ways. Why couldn't you have it be heated too? You know what I mean?
Sure could.
I made the revelation of sunbathing, bringing a fan outside and blowing on you. Like most people would maybe think that's weird to have a fan outside.
Mm-hmm. But it's nice, right? Is it nice to have a fan?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that would keep the mosquitoes off you too.
Yeah.
Mosquitoes they don't like fans. Yeah. Whoa, yeah. I didn't know what that was that just jumped off your TV, Lindsay.
I have a kitten in this room who is just destroying this room.
Oh my God. I was like, I think a bat just landed behind Lindsay. It was wild, dude.
It was a tiny black cat with
that's what it was.
Ears, so it's almost like a bat.
So the hammock thing, I guess people could use it just to lay out in the sun or to lay out on a hammock, but it would also serve as like an emergency thing when it's super hot out. And I guess if hoses worked and the hoses or the IV bag worked, that would probably be more reliable than having to rely on enough solar power to power a pump.
Pumping
water and do the fan.
Yeah, well, you could start with like the cheap version, and then make adjustments as you go.
Well, I know as a I was an EMT for a while, and I was studying to become a paramedic before I decided to go back to my old job. We treated heat strokes with ice packs under your arms and in your legs, but your groin, and just right in between your, right down in there and under your arms, and it'll cool your body down like nothing. I don't know what it'll do for your ass though, Tom. I mean, Jesus.
So your invention, unfortunately, doesn't seem to help your initial problem. Because again, if it's solar powered, unless you're doing like outdoor shows, that's probably not going to be super helpful. But I could see you wearing like a water jacket, or like you just have this really bizarre bar stool that you sit on before your show.
Yeah.
Have you thought about just wearing fishnet underwear?
Oh yeah. There we go.
They look like the inside of the bathing
outfit,
suit.
honestly.
You know what I mean? That like when they put like the fake underwear in the bathing suits.
Or maybe I can build something that hooks up to the toilet in the bathroom that sprays the water on me.
A bidet, a reverse bidet.
Yeah. You could try wearing a maxi pad to soak up the sweat.
Yeah.
Just a big ass leaf blower before you go on stage.
What if you just had underwear that cooled themselves off, like that jacket, like a battery powered version?
I feel like that would make you want to pee all the time, though.
I don't know.
If I constantly had water running all over.
If you could make a battery powered self cooling bra, I'd be all over that.
Same thing. The wire, replace the wire with that hard tube, run that cold water through there off a little battery pack in your back. Tits would be great. It'd feel great.
But if a guy tried to feel you up, it'd be like ice and his hand would stick.
It's already like that. I'm a cool so.
I didn't come up with a name. I just called it Cooldown Hammock.
Yeah, you know what you're getting when you buy that.
Man, says it right there.
Would you buy one, or one of the modifications like the seats or the wearables, or would you buy any of this that we've been talking about?
Only if you could. It's guaranteed out cold.
Like, I'm always cold. I would like to be warmer, actually. That would be improved. If you could make one that would be warm and not set me on fire, I would take that.
That's what I'm saying. Like heating pad hammock.
Yeah.
You would sell. Every woman on her period would buy.
Well, isn't that a heating blanket though? They do sell. Yeah, electric blanket.
Not ones that you can like lay on. I mean, I guess you could lay on top of it, but like actually be in a hammock with your book, like sweating, rocking. You know, in the fall. You know, make hammocks 3 seasons in Michigan. You know, they're not just for the summer.
I always wondered why they didn't have like glass pods that you could like lay in the sun in the winter. Like you could make it hot in there.
Like a greenhouse. A human greenhouse.
Human greenhouse, exactly.
I like it. I don't have sweaty ass issues, but I buy it. I get it.
Right.
Just in case anyone else, any house guest needs one.
Yeah. Got something I want you to try. Getting this thing.
And it could be for emergencies too. You just have one around the house in case it's like 110 degrees and the power kicks off.
He's overheating. Get in the hammock.
Right.
Words never spoken before.
Could be like a budget heat exhaustion ambulance service.
Well, it might be good for like fevered children, right?
Yeah.
Instead of dunking them in a cold bath, you could just put them in the hammock.
Yeah, like you could save a bunch of like kids from scarlet fever, like in Little House on the Prairie, but with your hammock.
How about say scarlet fever? Jesus, is that back?
I mean, eventually, right? Nobody's vaccinating their kids.
Well, my granddaughter was just here. She's 1.5 years, and she had a fever. She's teething, and I just cold rag on her forehead, cold rag around her neck. She just looked like a little. What's happening, Granddad? You know. But if I had the hammock, you'd be in the hammock, little one.
Yeah, a lot more comfortable, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I think the hammock thing is a good idea. It doesn't solve everything. It doesn't solve my sweaty butt problem. We can wrap it up. Any comedy shows or podcasts or anything you're doing that you want to plug?
I've got a couple things coming up. I'm going to be at the Night Spot on August 21st. And then I'm going to be performing drag at the Harmony Hall on the 27th of August. So if you're interested and some man drag. That's what I do. You can also find me on TikTok. I do some very harsh anti-Christian Satanist stuff on TikTok.
Wow.
You can see me there at 60 Seconds with Satan. That's me.
Thursday, I'll be at Solar Detroit. It's my bi-weekly show. It's in Sterling Heights, just outside Lakeside Mall. Showtime's 8 o'clock. This week, we got Danny Lynn and Karam Sheik. He's a pretty cool guy. I am headlining all weekend at Starters in the city of Detroit. And also Saturday, I'm 2 shows, Starters, and I'm in Ferndale with Mike Ball. So this is a busy week for me in comedy, but we're having fun doing it. All we're doing is making people laugh because that's what we need to do.
I'm taking Mike Green's comedy class at One Night Stands. The graduation show is Friday, September 2nd. And then I have a Twitch thing. It's called Gamey McFitness. I build these exercise machines that have video game controllers in them, like that one.
Oh, yeah.
This has been a production of Planet Amp Podcast, powered by Pinecast.